Whoa, our thing is kind of wonky now because we don't have three people. That's interesting. Um, so yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. It's your man, Summer Man, like the grand soda month that I think that I am. We got my man's right over here, Noir King R7, send your ass straight to heaven. All right, you can ask the
Hey.
preacher and the reverend. And today on Black Man Meat, we're gonna be talking about Juicy Smollett, Jesse, Juicy, Jesse. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, you know
We
what? For
we're
the
gonna we're
remainder
gonna
of
call him
this,
Juicy.
yeah. I was gonna say just so that people understand that we are not attacking this man, okay? And what we are only talking about the
Hey, how you
case that
doing?
he did, okay?
Right. Oh
Like
my god, bro.
Jesse Smollett, the person. I really hope that he gets the help that he deserves, and he can move on from this, and maybe even have a career afterwards. I don't know. I'm not saying that I want that. I'm just saying I hope the best for him. But for the contents of today's show, oh, Juicy about to get it.
That's funny. That's funny. My man said he hopes he could he could have a career after this. Yo, I don't know hella stuff about the case, but
Oh,
how,
I do.
bro? Tell us what the case is currently. You know what I'm saying? I'll
All
bring
right.
up some information on my side.
All right. So as you all know, again, master of ceremonies here, dropping a mad introduction, summer man, and but yeah. So this juicy thing, man, it's so crazy because it's one of those situations where 100% transparency in the back of my mind, right? A tiny, like less than 0.1% of me actually wanted it to be true.
Mm.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. You know why? Because not for him, but for us as a nation, just to show like, hey, these crazy manga hat wearing psychopaths is out here really doing it. But that was not the case at all.
Right.
Not even a little bit. Like not even a little bit. And then, okay, here it is. So when this thing started, right, I didn't read any of the stuff about it. I just saw his interview first,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
And that
Okay.
first that first interview, within the first 5 seconds after, in the time it took for me to read it and then watch it, my opinion had changed dramatically.
Hmm.
Because I mean, like within the first couple seconds, I'm like, man, this dude clearly lying, or this is a publicity stunt. Like I thought it was one of those two. Like I'm not even gonna front and sit here and be like, wow, I was totally convinced. Nah, the moment he started talking, I was like, damn, this nigga lying. Like, bro, there's no. First off, where are we at? Chicago, okay? And somebody even wrote in the thing like, yo, the 1800s people had rope like that. So now you telling me, because they was on foot in the snow, they didn't come up on you on horseback. Because if they didn't came up on you on horseback, I'd have been like, well, that's so unbelievable. He has to be telling the truth. You feel me? Like, there's just certain things that it's like, okay. But as more information started coming out and he started doing more slash less interviews, you know, I
Mm-hmm.
started to really become more cemented in the idea that either he made it up or somebody at Fox put him up to it. You
Mm.
know, that was my second hope. Okay, because my last hope was that I was like, all right, yo, I can no longer give you the benefit of the doubt. This is what happened. You were caught. But what's gonna happen now, right?
Hey, Smith Smite, thank you for the follow, fam.
Now, some details that help cement that he was lying to me. Number one, who has rope in Chicago?
Right.
That was number one. Number two, they went through the. So not only did they know you from Empire, right? But
Mm-hmm.
they went through and knew that you in real life were
Yeah, okay, it's
into.
over. Sorry,
Yeah.
gotta block somebody.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
Oh no, do say.
They're just putting cracker in the chat. racist, and we don't. You know, just a real quick thing. I am very unapologetically pro-black. All right, that does not mean that I'm anti anybody else. All right, and we don't tolerate any kind of racism or any kind of prejudice against any kind of people for any reason in this channel at all. So if Mug's coming through with that, you gotta go. You can't be here. And as like a internet online kind of personality, shout out to Age one time. I realized that, you know, when we have things like this, they may not be physical spaces, but they're still spaces, right? They're virtual spaces and they're curated spaces, and so that means we curate the people who come inside. You know what I'm saying? And people are kind of confused, I think, sometimes. They think that you could just be anywhere and say anything that you want on the internet, like it's all free, but it's not, bro.
Yo, can you guys hear me? You good?
Yes, we can.
What's up, fellas? What's up, King? How you doing, sir?
How's it going?
Yes. I love that hat too. That's a fly hat, sir.
You're a little bit on the loud side, Age.
Okay, I could bring it down some.
That would be helpful.
Thank you. Right about there. That's cool. Thank you. How's that? Right about there.
Yeah, that's better.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah, the thought of when you were speaking of being an internet presence, that's definitely real, because even I've had to change my personality on the internet. When I first got on it, it was like all jokes and gangs, but you know, especially I start to like be at conventions and being a public figure, being out there. I've actually been told by my publisher that.
Wait, Age, can you turn your mic down just a little bit more?
Yes, sir, no problem. Is that better?
Just a little bit more?
Yeah. You know, let me just do this. How about this? Let me do this. I'm gonna do it.
Uh-oh.
I just want to make sure we get the best sound for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's not echo.
I'm gonna just do this right here.
Well, now you got to turn it up.
The day she fell, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Now it's very hard to hear you.
Okay.
Wow. Wait.
Okay. Let me do this.
Oh, that's really good.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just on my regular. All right. Thank you. So that's cool. You came in out better. All right. So the internet presence. You know, I've been actually told by my publisher that, you know, when I would do comic book conventions, that I have to kind of chill with what I say, because that kind of like will alter my sales of, you know, my books and whatnot. But you try not to, you don't really think about that, but you know, people say things on the internet and it does come back to haunt them.
Right.
And I've even been a victim of that. So right now I'm currently chilling. My Facebook doesn't get the same likes, but I really don't care. It's kind of past likes anyway.
Yeah, right. I agree with that.
But you know what?
Hold on. I'm so sorry. My partner did not know that you had a comic, Age. Yes. Age has several comics. Age is a comic like a comic extraordinaire. Okay. Do you want to tell the people about your comics?
You know, it's something I'm proud of, but I try to not to really trip off of. But like, I'm the first hip hop comic book creator. Like, One and Phil, my character One and Phil.
Right.
One and Phil for like 20 something years.
Right.
And I've been doing like and I really don't really, but I got other books, and I got like a children's book, and I write and draw.
Mm-hmm. And you also you have like a new hero.
Yeah, you know what? Yo. Can you pass me the keys to the Can you pass me the keys real quick so I can just show the world? It's like a minute long, something.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you should be able to.
Okay, hold a minute. Let me see something. Hold a minute. Okay, let me see something. I should be able to. There it is. check this out. Oh man, can I please show it to you guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Drawing new stuff. I'm drawing new stuff. Draw. You know what? That looks pretty cool. Draw. Drawing new stuff. Draw. I guess that's alright. That's cool. Draw. Drawing new stuff. And I don't know. I guess this is, you know what? This shit sucks ass. My art sucks. I hate it. This sucks. I hate my drawing. I hate my life. I hate it all. You know what? Peace. You out of here. Holla. Anyway, let's get some new paper. Let's get back at it. Drawing new stuff. Because you know what? We don't stop and we don't quit. Because we're drawing new stuff. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Hey, that was sick.
Thank you. I'm trying, bro. Thank
That was
you
nice.
for letting me do my thing.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Just try, bro. But like you said, the internet presence is important. So yeah.
Right. And what you say and how you are, it's important. So we're not having no funniness on the channel, but we are gonna keep it real though. Okay. So in the spirit of keeping it real, you want to finish telling us about this here Jussie case?
Okay, so again, where we left off, like I said, as stuff started to come more forward, people even now this is where this thing really kind of like took me by surprise, and I'm not even gonna front. Politicians started to step into this case. If you guys did not know, Michelle Obama actually called, while she was sitting vice president, actually called down to the DA of Chicago, Kim, whatever her name was, and had her drop the original charges against Jussie, right? This is how powerful his lie was, all right? So after the fact, right, that's why we didn't hear about it for so long, okay? Chicago had to come and get a new DA to press charges against Jussie because they all knew he was guilty. They showed footage after the incident, right, where Jussie was one in the hospital, and then they had one where he was in his apartment and they was being questioned by police. Just the sheer scale of how far he took this before it even got to the point where people were like, "Oh man, he lying." It's just mind blowing to me.
He still had the rope on his neck, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, which he took off and put back on because his media, his not personal trainer, his image consultant told him that it would be better when the cops came if they saw him with the rope on his neck. Yes.
What?
Crazy.
Yes.
Like can we find the media consultant?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Kamala Harris, the current vice president, was one of the people who spoke out to help aid in Jussie's plea for innocence. Okay, and here's the best part: like every other time in history, when some celebrity or somebody has done something wrong, and then people in the Senate or whatever have come and they have done some shit, right? They immediately, as soon as they get found out they're liars, they drop them. They're gone. Oh, who? Jussie? Who's that? I don't know. Who that? I don't know. Who that be? I don't know. Why? Because they obviously lying. And since I'm a politician, I can't be a part of that at all.
Right.
Now, okay, here's why I say that Jussie deserves every bit of this. Okay, this is, and it's not just Jussie, because trust me, what he did was totally for clout, because somebody who does not understand the ramifications of their actions when doing something like this, you can tell, all right? When Harriet Tubman decided to create the Underground Railroad to help free slaves, she did so knowing that she could be hung and killed tomorrow, right? when Rosa Parks refused to get up, she knew that she could be shot dead in that seat that day. When Martin Luther King decided to march all those people down there, okay, on the Capitol, he knew that they could all be killed. He knew that, but they did it because they knew there was no other way. Jussie did not do this. Okay, sorry. Jussie did not do this for black people. Okay, Jussie did this for Jussie. All right. In one of his statements, he said, "I wanted to be the gay Tupac, the next gay Tupac," and that's where he lost me completely, bro. Tupac was not about that running the streets trying to get clout and all that BS. Like, he was doing it because he wanted to make music. He wanted to make art. He wanted to show that black people could, do something besides just rap and whatever. Cool. All right. I'm with that. Ain't nobody mad at you. You feel me? And he stuck to that fuck the police shit to the end. You feel me? So who could really be mad? So now, here's the real scary part about Jussie's thing for me. What if he was telling the truth? Okay? What if he hadn't staged this? What if this was real? What if there were
crazy?
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it have not? What if there wouldn't have been two Nigerian brothers?
Right. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't necessarily want it to be real, right? But I didn't want it to be a lie.
Yes. Agreed. 100%.
Right? Like if it happened to him and it was like, I would like him to be able to come out and do this. And for a story this crazy, this wild, I was like, bro, please don't let this nigga be lying. Okay.
Please.
Like,
yeah.
And all this shit you could ever lie about in life, bro. This
for real.
And you're Jussie Smollett, like, bro. You can't be Jussie Smollett and make a big ass lie like this. Like, lie about some little shit. Like, lie about your have some implants in your hair. Have fake hair, bro. Okay. Tell me it's real. Don't tell me these MAGA niggas jumped you at Subway in Chicago at 2:00 in the morning. Put a fucking rope in your neck, bro. Don't tell me that.
They even take your meatball sub, bro. You out of pocket.
You know what? I got an equation for this, bro. You know what? I seriously, I don't think cats really think their plans completely out. Like, and maybe I'm even at fault like that sometimes. Maybe I'm trying to get more rational with my thinking. Luckily, I've not done nothing too bad, but like, people really don't think out some of their acts or their saying. Just like the like you said, the ramifications, bro. Like, people were just, they don't think. Like, I don't know. Right, like you said, if you're gonna lie, like, don't lie about that type of shit. Like,
I know. That's like the craziest thing that you can lie about.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Why?
You wanna lie about like Santa Claus or something.
Right.
Thank you.
Lie about Jesus.
Thank you.
Lie about Jesus, bro.
Hey, you know what? And here's 3 really good examples, right? Marilyn Monroe, before she died, said she had sex with a ghost. Okay, who gonna argue with that? Nobody. It was like, damn, you crazy. But ain't nobody gonna sit there and say, wow, I ain't never heard of that before. 2, Eddie Murphy, when he got caught with that prostitute, that transgender prostitute, what'd he say? Hey man, she needs to ride home.
Right.
That's it. That was it. He wasn't like,
about that?
He didn't lie. Yeah, thank you. But he did. He was like, oh, and then of course, oh man, not Jussie, but
Pee Wee Herman, when he was up in the theater beating his shit up. Look.
Right.
That was, you know what? Honestly, that was kind of, you think about it, bro. Like, that was out of pocket, bro. Like, he was in a theater. No, he was. That's what are you supposed to do. That's what he wrote there for. Like, like, you couldn't beat your dick in a dick beating place.
But That's what I was gonna say. I was
Right.
gonna say
It's
like that.
it's
That's what
where
makes
you
it so
supposed to go,
funny
bro?
about
Where you
it.
supposed to go?
Exactly. Like that's what makes it. That's what makes the Juicy situation so funny. It's like, bro, you didn't have to do that. Like you are a celebrity,
You're
bro. Like
Juicy
ain't
Smollett,
no.
bro.
Hey, and here's something. People said that it was about money. I'm gonna debunk that right now. At the end of Empire, he was making close to 90K an episode. Okay, so trust and believe me, he did not need more money. All right, he was stuck in. And here's another thing too. He said that he did this. His main motivation for staging this hoax uh, was that he received a letter, and the Fox people didn't do enough for him. So he was like, I'm gonna go out now and I'm gonna create a situation where they have to take notice to me now. You see what I'm saying? Mind blowing. You know, like that's wild to me. Like why feel the need to do that when again there's so many other people who are out there suffering every day, right? And then
Right.
again, speaking of other people.
Got greedy, got grimy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's using his power in a way that's really destructive, you know?
Yes.
And it's destructive towards black people, it's destructive towards gay people, and it's just a really messed up situation, right? And it kind of gives power to these MAGA people.
Yes.
Because now people are gonna be like, well, what about Jussie though? Like, what if he's lying like Jussie was lying?
Yep.
You know?
And that's my first, honestly, that was my second thought. I was like, damn, now every person who has ever experienced a hate crime is going to have to prove it 10 times harder. Because people were so willing to back you without any real anything behind it other than just your word.
Right. Like I said, I was really hoping that the shit was real. I was like, please, bro. Buddha, Allah, you know what I'm saying? Who do I gotta call for this not honestly, to be the worst lie of the last 15 years? 20 years, exactly.
I think there was still some people behind him too. And then they released the photos of the brothers. And I'm not gonna lie, when they released the photos of those two brothers, and they was like, these are the manga dudes. I'm like, I don't want to be mean, but I guarantee you, them niggas couldn't even spell manga if you asked them to, bro. That's how far removed they were from that situation. Like, bro. And on top of that, okay, so if you guys didn't know, the two brothers were engaged.
They were on the show.
Yeah, and they were engaged with Jussie, sexually.
Right.
Like, there's text messages of them together, of talking about rendezvous, talking about cocaine, talking about money. They have bank records of Jussie sending them money for this attack. You feel me? They have video surveillance evidence of Jussie and the brothers casing around the building where this incident took place at. Like, there was literally so much circumstantial evidence. It wasn't even like they went at this with the full power, like the CSI TV shows. That's how they went at
surgical precision. They found all the evidence on this nigga. And you know what? The story just didn't make sense to begin with. First of all, ain't no gay black man about to be outside in Chicago at 2:00 in the morning. It's not happening, bro.
ain't no. Damn. I don't care.
Damn, sure not about to be getting Subway. Nigga, you could Grubhub Subway.
Facts. And okay, also, not even gonna say, but like, yo, how many fucking dudes are sitting there, like, straight white dudes are sitting there like, you know what? Hey, you know what, Billie Jean? Let's go watch Empire. Oh man, I don't like that one guy right there.
Right.
I don't like him. Everybody else in the show is fine. That one though. That's the one we gonna get. Yes.
Like, what? These MAGA people have never heard of Empire.
No.
The only Empire they ever heard of was the Empire State Building, and they ain't never been there either. All right.
Guaranteed. I ain't going to no big city folk parties.
right, right. It's so crazy.
So like, I mean, I'm not, and again, I'm not taking away from Jesse's career. Now, here's something interesting too. Somebody put on the post, we have to take account of Jesse's upbringing, and he's a child star,
Yeah,
and
that's an
that's
effect.
so tragic. All right, I'm gonna say this right now. That's totally irrelevant to this conversation, and you know why that is? I'm gonna give you a few examples here. Justin Bieber, Hillary Duff, Miley Cyrus, uh, Macaulay Culkin, Brenda Song. Who else? The girl from Matilda. Okay, these are all child stars who all kind of had public meltdowns and who all are doing great. Drake. Okay, he started on Degrassi, so that
Right.
idea of growing up in that childhood bubble, that's not existent in this situation. Colin
Mhm.
Kaepernick. Again, here's another situation where here's a guy who had grown up in a predominantly non-black neighborhood. Okay, these were people who grew up in basically bubbles, and then they went out into the real world and found out, hey, you're black,
Right. And people are gonna
and
treat you
that
differently for that.
yes, and that alone, no, nothing else. No matter who you are, what you're doing, and they don't care. You're black, so
Right.
that's number one. All right, and I'm not saying right that it's easy to be black in America because it's not.
It's the
And
hardest
we
shit in the
all know
world.
this. Exactly. It's like playing the game on Ultra Legendary, nigga, and I can't activate Ultra Instinct, so I'm stuck. Okay.
Right.
Now, again, like I said, Jesse, the person I do not take away from you because I understand your plight as a black man. I just can't get behind your actions because we had groups like Black Lives Matter who are still trying to defend Jesse now. Like that,
But
he's already been convicted.
we all know that Black Lives Matter group is shifty though.
It is.
I like the movement. I like the idea,
I like the
but
idea.
I can't fuck with the group.
Nope.
So I can't fuck with the group, and it's because of who funded it.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's straight up this. I can't stand people who talk about being for the community. Where are the hospitals? Where are the schools at? Where are the black patrols on the street to stop black on black violence? Okay,
People
that's the shit that I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Like Umar Johnson. Like, yeah, you talk a good game, bro, but what have you actually done for black people besides talk? Okay.
Facts.
LeBron James, for as much hate as he gets, the nigga got a whole school. He got a whole fucking school. So I don't want to hear nobody talk shit about LeBron James until they got a school. Okay.
Because Oprah don't have no school.
She don't, but she do have a network though. She got the only black network on TV.
Facts. We're not gonna talk about the school in Africa because that's a topic for a different show.
Shit.
So back to Mr. Smolier.
Jussie, we actually got some questions in the chat, real quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, you share your thought, and then I'll ask a question.
Well, as you spoke of black excellence, of when you name dropped those great names of people. I mean, LeBron's a bum, but he's a great guy as a black male, but as a player, he's a bum. Let's go Warriors. When you mention these moments of black excellence of people doing, like, I feel like, black people, we've been on the rise, and we had we've been having a good run lately. So when Juliet does this act, blacks were like, bruh, like really, like we're like making strides right now, and you're gonna like come with this. Like it wasn't like just a statement, it was like an idiotic lie. So it was like really blatantly, who's thinking here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, and just
that actually goes into this question that we have right here. And the question is from Monty J. She asks, what do you think about the concept that this affects people who don't believe real victims? Or that it makes real hate crimes less believable?
Well, I kind of already spoke on that, but yeah, I mean, straight up, it 110% hurt us as a people, number one. It hurt us. Number two, there was a line in the movie The Hateful Eight, and it kind of stuck with me, and it's perfect for this situation. When Samuel L. Jackson, spoiler alert by the way, Samuel L. Jackson's character was revealed to not be in possession of a Lincoln letter, and Kurt Russell's character almost immediately after being this guy's friend up until that point turned to him and was just like, all your people are nothing but shifty liars and thieves or something like that. And I'm just like, damn, that's really how they think about us though. Like, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't something that they put in the movie. That was thought. That was actual, like, that's how they, when they see black people and we do what the leader of Black Lives Matter did by taking $90 million and buying some new houses, what do they say about us? Oh, look, there it is. They was only in it for the money. They was shifting. By the way, the leaders of Black Lives Matter live in gated white communities. Okay, do not believe the media lies. They do not care about black people at all. They care about your money. Okay, they do not care about you. All right.
And we have a follow up to that. And Amani J says the thing is, the only people who don't believe hate crimes happen are in denial. No one should have to be on the hook for the entire race, because that itself is a mechanism of racism. I hear you. I hear that. It gives me blacks need to stay in their place to earn basic dignity. Soros. That's why I don't mess with Black Lives Matter. I feel that, baby. Do you want to take it? I can take it. Take the comment.
Go for it.
I don't think that Jussie should be held like, it should be like, you can't do any. I don't think black people should be in a place where we can't make mistakes, right?
Right.
But also, her and I have talked about this. The effects and the impacts are the impacts, and this just gives fuel to the other side. To me, we're in a war already, and you got people who are neutral in the war, you got people who are against us in the war, and you got people who are for us. And people who are doing stuff that directly hurts us and goes against us, we can't be dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? And some of those things we can't take lightly. And the effects are the effects, regardless of the intentions. And I feel like this is a blow against black people, and I feel like this is a blow against gay people, and it's gonna make it harder for gay and black people in the future to be believed when these stories come out. Because to me, it's not just that these random people in the ethers don't believe it, right? It's police who don't believe it. It's lawyers who don't believe it. It's judges who don't believe it. Like, look at, for example, how women are treated when it comes to rape. Women are already not believed. I'm not a woman, so I can't be putting women accountable for lying about rape, right? It's not my place. However, it's hurtful, I think, to the cause when women do lie about that. I think it's hurtful to black people that Jussie lied about this. Jussie lied about this shit, and it hurts us because now these motherfuckers gonna look at us like we're shifty, like we're just gonna lie about it, and they're gonna have actual evidence to prove that somebody has lied about it. You know?
Can I just say something to that last comment right quick? Again, rape across the board is terrible. But I'm just gonna say this right now too. The amount of women that are sexually assaulted is terrible in this country. It's absolutely just atrocious. And that goes the same thing with men. All right, like, yo, did you know that 70% of rape victims in America are men, right? And none of them ever speak out about it because two things. Number one, who has the ability to rape a man? Number two, why are you gonna sit there and let her do that to you? That is what they get every single time. So if you think that it is hard for a woman to prove that she was sexually assaulted, it is 400 times harder for a man to prove that he is sexually assaulted. And this goes for against men and men and men and women. It doesn't matter, okay? Like that is it hurt. It breaks my heart to know that there are young men out there, black, white, Asian, whatever, who are being assaulted and they aren't saying anything. You feel me? Because they know that they won't be heard. They don't think, they know. You feel me? It's a big difference between thinking that somebody won't believe you and you don't say anything, and then knowing that people won't believe you, so you don't say nothing. I mean, I could not imagine being a man and having to go to work or go to school with somebody who's sitting right next to you, basically, who's fucking with you, and you can't say shit because you tell your homies when you drunk and they just telling you shit like, bro, that sounds like you had a cool time. Like, why you acting like you didn't want that? Or you feel me? Like you acting like she pressing up on you ain't the whatever. So, and I only say that because like it needs to be said, especially in the black community. Like so many people end up in group homes and they don't say shit. You feel me? Or they end up somewhere like we don't know what happened to Jussie when he was a kid. You feel me? And then
you know,
and you being in Hollywood, especially being in Hollywood, it happens a lot. So we don't know.
I just want to play devil's advocate because I just want to cover the other side, because there are those definitely, you know, people getting raped is real, like ultimately seriously real. But the accusation of rape is also real. Like people, it's to the point where you could just like, someone could claim that you've been raped and you can almost go through the process just being addressed as a raper is enough to damage your
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of black men who are in jail and who have been killed for false accusations on rape. And I read a few more of Amani J's content, but go ahead, finish, and I'll
no, please. I got my thought off, sir. Please.
Okay. So what she said is that she doesn't like that the people who are lying are being blamed for making it the way that it is. And I think it's not the fact that people are lying that people are not being believed, right? People are not believed anyways. But I think to lie about some things that are this serious, I think it's extra bad, right? Like, imagine this, okay? Emmett Till dies, and the woman who lied about it is free for the rest of her life. And she led to an entire person being killed, right? An entire movement. Okay? And it's like, we're not like, oh, we shouldn't believe rape victims because of this. We should still believe them. However, when people are lying about things like this, they need to be persecuted to the highest extent of the law. All right? Because your lie led to somebody else's death.
Now, speaking on lying about accusations, just last year, some guy, he posted up, it was the craziest thing. This chick, they went to school together, and she accused him of raping her after a party where she got drunk and they had consensual sex. The next day, she was like, "Oh, he raped me," right? They ended up suing the school for like $10 million, and they won. Then he went to jail. And then like a year or two into a sentence, she told him, "Oh, I recanted." You feel me? Like that, it didn't happen. I lied, right? So then they had to release him. Not only did they have to release him, but they had to pay him because he was falsely imprisoned, right? Even though they did have physical evidence of them having sex, because she recanted and said that he didn't rape her, they were forced to let him go. Right. And now the craziest part about this situation, though, is that he had text messages that he showed of her calling him and being like, "Hey, do you want to meet up? Do you want to hook up?" Like, now I hope he didn't. I really hope he didn't go ahead and do that. But like, it blows my mind, you know, like I mean, and that doesn't go on to that person or that situation. That's just that accuser, right, was saw an opportunity to make some money and they took it. Like, there you go. And an innocent black man went to prison over something that he had literally really kind of nothing to do with. He was just there. He was a victim of circumstance. You feel me?
Right, and that's that's what this case brings up. I think it's sad that he lied about this stuff. I don't know what the heck is going on with this dude. I can't call it. I haven't seen the show Empire. I don't know him that well as a person or as a personality.
You never watched an episode of Empire either?
No,
I've
bro.
Watch one.
I honestly, I just cannot get into long ass series. Long ass dramatic series. My life is a long ass dramatic series. Okay.
I feel you on that one.
I don't
feel
need
you on
more
that
drama in my life. Okay.
I feel you on that.
You know what? In closing on this whole thing, and then we can move on to the next topic. But in closing on this one, man, do I think that number one, do I think he fooled us? Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. He had motive, he had the influence, he had the stardom at the time. Like, I mean, man, not since Michael Jackson got brought up on that sleeping with little boys shit, that niggas be like, whoa, do you think he did it? Yo, you think he did it? Yo, you think he did it? You feel me? Like, man.
Right.
So if we throw R. Kelly under the bus, you feel me? Even though
R. Kelly did.
I know, even though in the black community, like that is the funniest thing to me, because how you release a tape of you peeing on somebody, on an underage chick, tell people, nah, that wasn't me. Why they got you on video and people sit there defending you? Black people defended R. Kelly, like, bro, he really didn't do it.
Black people are still defending R. Kelly, bro.
To this day.
Keep it real.
Like, man.
Defending R. Kelly.
So, like, I'm telling y'all right now, like, they people see that. They see stuff like that and they say, okay, well, man, I can get away with it too. Yeah, no.
Right.
No, not like that, bro.
Right.
Like, man,
bro, you don't need to get away with it like that, bro.
Like I said before, bro, people, I think, bro, cats don't really think out their master plan, bro. Like, they're so spontaneous with their thoughts and what they say. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm trying to get better with my own emotions, but I ain't gonna do it. I mean, man,
to stage a hate crime, though, that just blows my mind. Like, you didn't scam people or steal money. Like, this ain't one of those apology type of situations where you cheated on your wife or whatever, or your spouse, your significant other. Like, when dude got caught cheating on Halle Berry, wasn't nobody on his side. Everybody was like, bro, you gonna cheat on Halle Berry, bro?
Right.
And then his excuse, like, I think that was the best shit ever, when they finally was like, yo, why'd you do it? Oh, I'm a nymphomaniac, bro. I gotta have sex. And she ain't trying to give it up. What? Mm-hmm. Like, come on, bro.
That's crazy.
You know what? What if their managers or their agent is like, hey, do something to get your name buzzing on the internet that's not, you know what I'm saying? Just do something like his name was buzzing, but in a negative fashion. But you know, in Hollywood, you know, there's no publicity. All publicity is good. So maybe this has been a ploy to get a buzz. And shit, I mean, is he still on Empire? I mean, what's gonna happen to his career?
I think he going to jail, boy.
Yeah. Let's just say right now,
he going to jail.
That, yeah, because Jussie was convicted, he will be facing. He's looking at either two things are gonna happen. One, he faces 5 consecutive 4-year sentences. So basically 20 years. Or he gets 4 years for each one of the sentences, which means that if they're not run concurrently, he'll go to jail for 4 years if he gets probation, he gets out for a couple months, then he goes to jail for another 4 years. And so yeah, that's
Wow, that's
only
crazy.
that's only if he doesn't get them running concurrently. Now, that may happen if and only if some miraculous public outcry on Free Juicy because he's innocent, which is not gonna happen because he is 110%
Yeah,
guilty.
he hella guilty.
He has been he has been proven guilty in the court of law, and
Right,
even his
right.
co-stars on Empire have
Hey,
was Terrence Howard.
hey, hold on. Hey, I got it right here. I got it right here.
Hey,
And real quick question though before I read this.
yes, sir.
Amani Jade asked or said that would Juicy getting off give OJ? No, no,
What?
no.
What?
What?
What? Did you
Would
just compare?
Juicy getting off give OJ vibes?
Oh no, not at all.
No,
See, OJ. Here's the thing.
OJ didn't do
OJ
it,
murdered.
but he did.
No, OJ murdered that woman and had enough money to have a superstar lawyer. And
Right.
if it wasn't for the boyfriend or the guy, who was it? The dude who came on? I don't know. I don't remember. Whoever that guy was, that dude saved him. Okay,
Right. Oh yeah.
like
Who came and got the bag? Who came
yeah.
and got the bag?
Okay, so
Bag was never seen again.
Oh my god, bro, let's be real, man. That superstar lawyer team, bro. The gloves,
Yes,
the white Broncos.
If the glove don't fit, we must have quit.
see, that's the real X factor is the real X factor is the lawyer team and the money because if you peep, OJ, he gambled. He was just like I didn't do it, and it's like it's the same gamble. Like hey, I didn't. Blah 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 blah. And, some gambles work, some gambles don't.
Right. Right.
You know
But
what I'm saying? Like
and
it's the same. It's just it's the same gamble Michael Jackson had with bringing a child to the house.
Right.
Like
facts.
regardless of what the media is gonna look like, you bringing a child to the house, that's a gamble, bro.
Yeah. Right. Look, I got kids, and I ain't trying to bring kids to my house.
Right, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm not gonna bring a child to my house.
Right. Like we'll meet you at the park.
Absolutely no
I'm
point.
trying to get kids out of my house.
And you know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm not gonna say what happened or what didn't happen, but just the gamble of like R. Kelly, did he do it? No, I mean, bro, like well, R. Kelly did that shit, bro.
He did it.
Yep.
He for sure did it.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
for sure did
I'm
it.
lying and shit. I see the video. I fight for the flea market.
It's like, oh damn, bro, that's him. there's his ID right there. That's Social Security.
Market was selling the tape for $5. I bought one.
Yep.
He's like, yo, is that his grandma in the back?
Bro, I
Okay.
like to see it.
Now, in the breadth of this conversation here's two instances, right? All right, one in the past and one more recent. Monica Lewinsky, right or wrong for going and telling on the president, right? What now? When you look, thank you. Exactly, that's a gray area, is it not? I mean, because technically, that was sexual assault or workplace harassment at the very least. Even if it was consensual, they were still working together.
Wait,
Just saying.
but if it's consensual, is that still a sexual assault or harassment? If it's consensual,
It is. It's a violation
Really?
of sexual. It's a violation of the sexual policy between coworkers at work. Like you're not supposed to engage in sexual or lewd acts with a coworker at work under any circumstance. That is
okay.
every job and every
What about after work?
after work is fine, but while you're on the clock, nigga, you are bro. Like they say, you hit that time card? Yeah, then you are my property until you unhit that time card. Oh,
No, it's just like when Mike Tyson brought Robin Givens to the room.
oh yeah, fat or Kobe and the white girl.
Boy,
He did that shit too though. They all did the shit.
but you see what I'm saying though, right? Because if you guys, I don't know if you guys heard about the story, but a couple months back, T.I.'s like one of their close friends came out and said that Ti and his wife
Oh
had
yeah.
held her at
Had a
gunpoint.
whole sex ring.
Yeah, had a whole like sex train on her at gunpoint, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, right? Again, a rational black man. This is a convicted felon. This is the same Ti who almost cried on Punk when Ashton Kutcher pulled out fake police on him, and he's gonna go and risk his entire life for you.
I mean,
Why?
they were saying that it was a ring though, and that
Like
they
that?
would recruit other girls. I don't know, bro.
I mean, this is, and that's where it loses me. You telling me that you were able to go through all of Atlanta and ain't nobody saying nothing about you, bro?
But a
We ain't
lot of
hearing
people
nothing.
have been though, bro.
No, but see, and again, this is why I don't take it away that it could have been, but it came out to be not true. But at the time, that was like I couldn't even get behind that. Like I couldn't even fathom that. Like him and his wife though, like together, and ain't nobody saying nothing. These the same two motherfuckers who ain't said nothing on haven't made any wave in any way, but they gonna throw all that shit away for you.
This also the same person who put on Iggy Azalea. It's kind of a strike against him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry, hip hop. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry that
Just
y'all have
saying.
to suffer through that. Yo, I will never forget that
Diddy
caller.
got Biggie shot. Just saying. Just saying, bro.
Aw, aw. Another one though. Damn, there's so many of these cases out there, but like, man, another one that also comes to mind. Give me a second
No,
here.
I'm thinking that. I mean, with the famous stardom, isn't that half of the fun of having famous stardom is to take chances with? I mean,
I mean, it is kind of a part of it.
isn't that half the fun of like, okay, well, I made it. Let me ball out of control and do this crazy shit I couldn't do when I was broke.
Right, right.
True, but
I
we're
think a
not.
lot of these people are shifty, but you know,
Yeah,
to me, it's like certain shit I can let slide, but certain other shit I'm like, nah, bro. Like R. Kelly, I can't let that slide.
I can't.
Don't
hey man,
don't don't ever play another R. Kelly song near me again. I'm
hey,
leaving. If I'm at the club, they play R. Kelly, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. He said
I'm
I'm
fucking
leaving.
leaving. I'm done, bro.
Hey, who was it? Laura Bush is a convicted murderer. She killed somebody.
Laura,
Yeah, she was.
is that George Bush's daughter?
No, that's his wife. I think it's the
Oh,
wife. If it's not,
okay. Well, I don't trust
I
no
think it's
Bushes.
her. Yeah, I think
They know how
it's
to
either
kill niggas for me
her.
not to trust them.
It was either her or Nancy Reagan. One of them. One of the first
I also
ladies.
don't
Though.
trust no Reagans. But on a
Oh hell
side
no.
note, Nancy Reagan was known as Nancy the Neck. Just so everybody knows, Nancy Reagan was actually, yeah, she is a Lewinsky. She had a lot of sex with a lot of high profile people in Hollywood, and that's why
Also
people
fact.
liked her.
Yeah.
And apparently
Also
she was
fact.
known for giving the Gaga 3000.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
3,000.
I'm like, Nancy Reagan?
Damn.
Wow.
Old turkey neck Nancy Reagan? Damn, bro.
Wow.
Damn.
Gaga 3,000. I'm
Look,
afraid to ask
you
what
never heard about Ronald Reagan cheating.
I'm almost afraid to ask what the Gaga 3,000 is.
Nah, I don't think you want to know that one,
Nah. That's a soul sucker.
Oh boy. Oh. Whoa. Okay.
OG. Okay, so
Hey,
another thing that I want to talk
right.
about on this thing, and wanted to get your opinions on, because me and Summer Man was talking about this earlier. At Penn State, there has been a recent development.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yes, there was and this is again, I'm only making statements of this situation because of the greater implications that it applies for this topic overall. Now, at Penn State, there was a transgender athlete that just set a new female swimming record, right? Uh, and it is almost it's like seconds, like 20, 30 seconds, almost a minute, damn near above the top female competitors, right? Now, what makes this situation so interesting? Why is it raising heads? Well, the females on the team, the natural born females on the team, are upset highly because the transgendered athlete had trained all previously for 3 years as a male, right, and then transitioned over to the to the female team. And a lot of people on the team, a lot of the women are complaining because they feel like the coach groomed this person to come over because they needed wins. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no females apparently in Penn State who was up to the task, right, of getting the medals. So the coach wanted to get them medals, right? And multiple women on the team have come forward and said this. You feel me? And they've talked about the attitude in the locker room towards their transgender teammate, and how the coach highly favors this person, is constantly, boom, pushing harder, all that, giving all the extra attention, the whole 51. Because again, not because of talent here. This is solely, hey, I have a way to win, I'm gonna win, right? And it just reopens that debate. Should transgender men be allowed to play against women in sports, right? And personally, I say no. I say that is grossly unfair to female competitors and female sports in general. Like, what do you want me to do? Right? Like, that's like me being a nobody in MMA, and then all of a sudden I have to go and I have to fight only the top 5 fighters. I can't fight no one else for the rest of my MMA career. And no matter what I do, no matter how hard I struggle, I don't match up, because I could train every day and I still won't be able to catch up to these dudes. It's just, if like me right now to go to the UFC, no, I'm outclassed 110%.
So definitely representing for the transgender community, like they should have their own qualification to like participate, like, but for an individual to have an operation and become a woman and then go, I mean, that's just like a loophole that somebody, it was like, it's almost genius. It was like a loophole somebody had to use eventually. Like, yes. Yeah, it's like a severe loophole that you would never think somebody would do or could do, but welcome to America.
Welcome to America.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Possible. Yeah.
Yes. So, go ahead.
Yeah, we live in a country. It's not like them competing is one thing, but the reality is some people will transition just to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's messed up. You know what I'm saying?
That is my core issue. South Park talked about it with that episode titled "Strong Woman." Man, they hit the nail right on the head. Some roided out, juiced up looking Hulk dude walked up in there. Yeah, I transitioned 2 weeks ago, and I'm the strongest woman in the world. And I mean, wrecked it. Hell, freaking Caitlyn or Kyle, whatever. What was the one?
Caitlyn Jenner?
Woman of the Year. Come on, dog.
Right. First year she was a woman.
Come on.
And it's crazy because there's been trans women in this country for decades. Right? Black trans women, all that kind of shit. But none of them get Women of the Year.
No, nobody.
And then Caitlyn Jenner, mm-hmm. She becomes Woman of the Year. First year she's a woman. Like,
no,
that's not fishy. Okay.
Nope.
And so Smith might says, well, what about those athletes who truly are transgender and they want to compete? Should they be not denied access? No, they definitely shouldn't be denied access. But I think that like Age said, it would really be better that if they had their own league, because then it would be more fair, because it's like when it comes to sports, at the end of the day, it's down to biology. You know, you could try to be Muggsy Bogues in basketball, but there was only one Muggsy Bogues ever. First of all, second of all,
yes,
he really, at the end of the day, he didn't even do that good. He was like an anomaly, but he couldn't compete at the very, very highest level of the game. And so it's not even fair to have a league that has 7-foot people and then have little 5'3" Muggsy Bogues. You know, like no matter how good he is, people his height are not going to be able to compete. Segregation? No, it's not like segregation. It's like women. It's like women and men's basketball. They could have had integrated basketball, but would that be more fair to the women who were there to compete against men who right. Would that be more fair for them to compete against men who get way taller, way stronger than them, and who have actual biological mechanisms to gain more muscle than them? Would that be fair for them to compete in the same sport? Famous athlete Serena Williams, she herself, they asked her if she wanted to compete against men, and this is before like all this, but before trans people were even competing, I believe. She said no. She said, I'm not gonna compete against men because I don't want to look foolish, right? Yep. And she's like, you know, women's competitions, they're very difficult, they're very athletic, all that kind of stuff, but men hit the ball harder, they hit the ball faster, the game is played faster, and the level of competition is higher. And it's because biologically speaking, men have a higher capacity for muscle growth. That's biology. And it doesn't matter whether you transition or not, the biology that you were born with is the biology that you were born with.
And brother, you know what, guys, you know, like once again, I want to make it clear that love and respect my transgender community.
Right.
But some of this stuff is like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like A is always before B. Like if you're not like if you're in your own class, it should be your own class. Like you have male, you have female, and transgender. Like that's true. Well, let's make the transgender have their own class. Like
now,
right.
I like that. I like that idea, and I think the only reason why people have not fully tried to make that a thing is solely because right now there is such a gap between male and female sports that they wouldn't even want to try to put that into that equation, right? But at the same time, I think that now is the time for us to try to advocate for a trans league. I personally would advocate for that, and I'd watch that. I'd watch trans basketball for sure.
Hey, you know what?
It would be interesting.
While we are on this topic, I just want to mention, because I must have this conversation with my coworker, that women have definitely rose up and got stronger. Right. Definitely, women of today are not the women of yesterday. Like more power to the strong women.
Definitely not.
Transgender have definitely rose and got more powerful, but I feel like men have gotten more weaker. I feel like men.
Testosterone's going down.
Have been weaker. Like we've as a whole have become weaker.
May I add to that? I quote this old Amazon. There's this really interesting story that I read once, and it was about this tribe of Amazon women, right? And in this tribe, they had nothing but weak men. All of the men were subservient to the women. They lived in like cages and shit, and it was wild. These females, they was running it, and the queen was super powerful, super muscled out chick. One day they meet this Iron Legion, right? And dude's like hella ripped, hella big. It's the first time they had ever encountered like men before. You feel me? Like all the men that they had known that had been strong and either died in war or died out or whatever, right? And these dudes, they came in, they mopped the floor with these chicks, and they was utterly dumbfounded. Like, how could you beat us? And dude was like, I'll be real with you. We beat you because you have no real men. And she was like, what do you mean? It was like, I constantly have pondered this question on my journey. Is it a society of strong women that breeds weak men, or is it a society of weak men that breed more weak men? And I was like,
Ooh, damn.
damn, yeah, I never thought about it like that. I always was like, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, like, I mean, like, yeah, that was some real shit. Like,
Hey, you know what? When you think of the movie 300, that's the code of life, bro. Like, don't watch your back, watch your brother's back, and he'll watch your back. And like, you don't need a lot of people. You just need a handful of the rawest people who work as a unit. And man, 300 is amazing. And that is like the code of, like, you need to be with strong, but it's not always physical strong. It's like mentally strong. It's like people who are together with the cause.
Right. And I think when it comes to sports, it's biology is really the separating factor, because especially when it went physical sports, because in something like chess, that's a mental sport, there's no need to separate men and women. It can all be integrated, right? There's no need to. There's like leagues and there's levels, like, oh, this person's this good, this person's that good. But when it comes to a physical sport, I think that there's a benefit for separation. How many times have we seen men dominate women in sports or in some kind of physical activity? And now trans women are dominating biological women, and they're going crazy. This person on Penn State beat the second place winner by 36 seconds in a swim competition. 36 seconds. Do you know how fast you have to be to beat a motherfucker by 36 seconds in swimming? Bro, 36 seconds of swimming? Bro.
That shit is like really close. Yeah.
Bro. It's like she didn't even jump off the board before she was already done.
Just to let everybody know, for the record, they will never be able to catch up and beat that ever. Like, that's set in stone.
Right. And
so it so bad.
It's not segregation, because we're not creating segregation. See, separation is one thing, right? Segregation is a different kind of thing. What's bad about segregation is not just that we have separate stuff, but it's separate and it's unequal. It's less. It's like, I'll take 80% of all the good shit, then you can get 10% of the bad shit, and then the other 10% of the good shit, of the rest of the shit, I'm gonna save. You know, I mean, that's what segregation is. So it's not we're not talking about creating something that's less than, just for the sake of creating it. We're talking about creating spaces for people where they can belong and they can compete with people of a similar caliber to themselves. Because what happens if trans women dominate women's sports? What space does that leave for biological women to be in and to compete and to win?
Ooh, that's real. Cause see, let me just throw this out here.
I'll look at the distance right now.
Really quickly here. Two things. Number one, going to basketball. Lisa Leslie, one of the greatest female basketball players of all time. I remember being in elementary school, and one of the classrooms had a poster of Lisa Leslie doing a dunk. Wow, one of the most iconic moments in the WNBA, and she said it, and I will never forget it. I would never go to the NBA ever in 100 million years. And it was like, why? You're tall, you're strong. No, I'm not aggressive enough to play around in the NBA the way they play. They would pinball me. Like, I'd be bouncing around. I was like, that made me sad. I was like, damn, that sucks. But that's a harsh reality that a lot of people have to face. Number two, okay, I think it was either the German or Olympic female team. I think it was back in the 60s or the 70s. They were all on testosterone. They were all genetic. By the time they made it from training to the Olympics, they were basically genetically male, right? Mm-hmm. Dominated the Olympics. And they have never, their records today are still there being held because ain't nobody ever catching up to that shit ever. Mind you, after the fact, they had to overturn the medals after they found out they were all on steroids, but still, like, steroids and
Right.
testosterone. Think Rocky, what was it, Rocky 5 or 4 or whatever, when he fought Drago and Drago was in them doing the
Mm-hmm.
day was running, just
Yeah, Drago was beating
that's
ass, boy.
that grade A shit right there, son. That was basically it. So, and I'm not going. Again, I would stand behind trans league 110%.
Yeah, me too.
Football,
I watch it. Right.
basketball, UFC, the whole nine. I would
Mm-hmm.
watch that. That would be awesome. I I do
Excuse me.
not I do not want to live in a future where if I am to have a daughter, her scholarship is or her future in a sport that she loves. Because if my kid woke up tomorrow and was like, I love soccer, I want to be the next fucking Mia Hamm. All right, for sure, go for it. And she gets to that level where she's about to go to college, and she comes home one day and like, I'm never gonna play again. And I'm like, why? Oh well, the other day a transgender female joined our team and she took my spot. Not only did she take my spot, she's now starting, and she's already scoring and kicking ass, and she's only been there for 2 weeks.
Right. And so somebody asked about the the stats. So the one where she won in 38, it was 38 seconds. I said 36. The 38-second win again, that was the 1650 yards, 1650 yard freestyle, which is pretty far, but 38 seconds is a long ass time either way. Also though, she won the 500 yard freestyle preliminaries at the University of Akron, and she had a winning time of 4 minutes and 34 seconds, which is a new Ivy League record. She won the 200 free with 1 minute and 41 seconds, and she won the race by nearly 7 seconds, and her time was the fastest in the country. The fastest in the country.
Crazy.
Of all the women
that have ever done it.
right.
So I want you to think
fastest, about that. The fastest by 7 seconds. Mm-hmm. By 7 seconds. And this same person was competing and was training as a man for 3 years with the same college. And this is college level. It's college level swimming.
And that's what makes it so unbelievable to me that Joe Rogan said it best when that transgender fighter down south went and fought that female. This is what put me onto this.
Terrible.
That was first off, whoever sanctioned that fight, I just want to say this right now. Fuck you, okay? You are a terrible person and you deserve shit on your name, dog. You put that woman's literal life in danger. She went in there thinking that she was going to have a fight, and it wasn't a fight, it was a slaughter. The transgender woman not only destroyed her opponent, but literally put her life in danger by crushing her skull. She crushed this person's skull.
When you see it, it's like brutality.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I'm just like, bro,
yeah.
What the fuck? Why, bro? And it comes down to biology. You spent 18 years as a male filled with testosterone, which we know increases muscle growth. Okay, and look, for here at Penn State, this person, their name is Leah Thomas. They previously competed as a man for 2 full seasons, most recently in 2019. But the NCAA rules dictate that a trans player must partake in 1 year of testosterone suppression before they can compete as a woman. So you don't have to take testosterone suppression for 18, 19, 20 years. And all of that muscle growth that you built is not going to be washed away with testosterone suppression. And if you have bigger muscles, if you have stronger muscles, then you're going to be able to compete at a higher level than the biological women who were there. And it's kind of like us creating, like I said earlier, women's sports, right? Some sports women and men can compete on the same level, but some sports they're not able to compete on the same level. So it's better to create a space for them. And you and I were talking about earlier supporting women's sports so that women can get more money. And I'm like, look, whether you like it or not, I think we should support it. I think we should watch it so that women can get more money because they work just as hard as some of the men, and I feel like they're just as skilled. And the only thing that holds them back is maybe height or muscle growth potential, and that's nothing that's nothing against them as a player.
Nope. And here's another one too. I see a lot of stuff on YouTube now where they talk about how the WNBA players are complaining that they don't get paid as much as the NBA players. And you know what? At first I was like, that's a stupid argument and it shouldn't be made. But after really thinking about it though, like when you look at what a NBA player brings to the table and this is strictly business looking at it, right? If I'm looking at it as an investor and I'm looking at a character and I'm seeing somebody like, let's say I'm looking at a Scottie Pippen in his prime, right? Versus a Lisa Leslie in her prime. What am I going to look at more and say, this is going to make me the most money? Somebody who is a universal figure who can be looked up to by both boys and girls, or someone who's only going to be looked up to by girls. Like, as much as I love the WNBA, the reason why you don't ever see marketing or WNBA players with their own shoes is solely because Lisa Leslie shoes are only going to sell to women, but Michael Jordan shoes are going to sell to both. Everybody's going to buy Jordan shoes. Yeah. See, and that is, again, another reason why it's so hard for WNBA players to make millions of dollars and get millions of dollars in contracts, because a lot of these sports people understand that they don't necessarily need you to do good on the court for you to make them money. You feel me? Like Michael Jordan, to this day, his signature is worth $26 million. Did you know that? Like, that's insane. He ain't gotta do. That's nothing. He just coming up to be like, oh, Fruit of the Looms for sure. This is the new Jordan brand, Fruit of the Looms. Boom, done.
Right.
I mean, they already have Fruit of the Looms for Jordan, but you know what I mean. Like, if he wants to go and be all like, you know what, I'm about to go make hey George, let me get some grills, bro. This is a George Foreman grill made by Michael Jordan. Bam, done. And now he's making money again, just like that. Which, again, shout out George Foreman, because damn, son, we all thought you was never like, George, what you name your kids? George. All 5 of my kids is named George. Why? Because it's easier for me to remember their names.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
No,
all 5 but to be fair though, he literally only did that because he has been punched. Like he said, I have been punched. When you've been punched in the head as many times as I have, I would like for you to try to remember 5 different people's names all the time. I was like, damn, I never thought about it like that. But that's hey, facts. I mean, shit. Mike Tyson seemed all right because Mike Tyson never got hit. Mayweather.
Right. I mean, Mike Tyson was doing the hitting.
Yeah, Mike
For
Tyson
real.
with the shits though. I don't. Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Like, and look, Mike Tyson, he got an iron head, bro. You hit Mike Tyson, he gonna hit you back. You're like, oh, for real? That's not a punch, bro. This a punch.
Right. Speaking of which, look at Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali, one of the most highly anticipated boxing prodigies on earth. Where is she now? She's not doing it because why? Being a boxer is hard.
Right.
Being in sports at that level.
Socked up like that, bro.
For real.
I know that this is kind of off topic, but when you said sports, I gotta just say, Jesus Christ, that loss by the Raiders will go down in history as probably their worst loss in their franchise.
I just watched that. That was amazing.
And I'm not even a Raiders fan. I'm not even into sports, football like that. But I noticed history and facts. And that score will probably be the worst Raiders score in their franchise.
Yeah, that was like that Peyton Manning when he went to the Super Bowl with the Broncos and they lost to the Seahawks hella bad. That was like that.
Right,
like Peyton Manning was Peyton Manning's a great quarterback, but we gonna remember this game forever.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. So there's a question in this chat. Smith Smite says, should trans people not be allowed to compete until they get their own league?
I don't think it would be.
Yeah, I think they should compete in their biological league. I think that would be more fair than them competing in the opposite league, because it's just like every time they compete in the opposite league, they dominate and they're breaking records. They're blowing people out the water. They're cracking people's skulls. Like, it's not even a competition anymore. And the thing is, the biological women who are there, a lot of times they're unhappy with the powers that be's decision to put trans people into their side of the sport. You know, and it's like, are we gonna sacrifice biological women for this? You know, like, they've been competing in this sport for forever. This is the only side of the sport that they can compete in, and there are current champions. Are we gonna disregard what they're saying in the sport that's made for them? Right? In the sport that they were born into?
For real. Now, to answer that question too, let me just say this right quick. Okay.
Excuse me, fellas, you know what? I don't mean to have to leave kind of early, but family members calling me and I got to kind of attend to family. Is that
go for it.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's actually the time when we should be wrapping the show anyways.
But thank you for always having me, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I was just gonna say that. Sorry, freaking work. One of the things, though. See here, and again, this is my whole argument with this, right? When you see when a transgender male or a transgender female commits a crime, they don't get sent to female prison. You know, that's like absolutely a no-no. That's a big no-no, right? So if we aren't gonna hold them accountable in the law, why is it okay for college coaches or high school coaches or whatever who are looking to get wins for their respective programs to basically, it's almost pretty much either pressure or insinuate a change in someone to help them along the path of winning for their teams? Because again, I do not feel that transgendered that I don't feel like trans females should play against natural females. I just don't. That's just that takes away from competition. It, like, if my sister wrestled guys in high school, right? So I'm not saying that you can't do it. No, you can. She paid the price for it later on, but I'm not saying that they can't be physically as strong. They can do what men can do, right? I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying that it comes a point where you have to say, when do we stop? Where does it stop? Because again, what happens, right? And this is in my opinion, this is a doomsday scenario. What happens when trans women decide, you know what, I want to go to the WNBA? And now all of the hard work, the WNBA, that all those women, Lisa Leslie, all those other women in the WNBA who fought really hard to get to that level, to get to the Hall of Fame, are now, all of them will be paid less than this trans athlete. And I'm not saying that could happen. I'm saying that will happen, because whoever that first trans athlete signs to, they're winning. Guaranteed. I guarantee you that they will smoke that season of the WNBA. Facts.
And just for clarification, Rose says that trans people are sent to whatever prison they choose, which I think is cool. And I don't know. I'm not trans. I'm not a woman. I feel like if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to compete against trans women in sports. I wouldn't want to compete against men in sports. You know? And I'd rather just compete against people who are at the same skill level as me. I'm not trying to get blown out the water. Okay.
because and this like, if you guys think that for again, back to the topic of the WNBA, because it's such a big thing to me, because it's not even mind blowing to me. It's almost like, why though? Like, dudes have a hard time playing other dudes in basketball. Like, are you serious? Larry Bird said the only reason why I'm so good at the fundamentals was because I had to play big black dudes when I was playing in the streets. Like, when I was growing up, all only people I played against were blacks, and it was incredibly difficult for me. And the only reason why I was even able to keep up was because I was so good at the fundamentals. Okay, please don't think that we be sitting here saying these things. I say these things because I'm like, haha, I don't know jack shit. No, I do. Like, I would. It's like, okay, softball and baseball, right, exist for a reason. Okay, the amount of distance from the mound in a softball game and a regular baseball game, you would think are the same, but are not. Why? Because when go down to Candlestick Park or any baseball stadium that you want and try and pitch, from the pitcher's mound to the fucking hitter's box, and then you tell me how easy. Yeah, tell me how easy that is, and throw a ball at 80 to 90 miles an hour. Oh, I don't think so.
Bro. I'll be lucky if I get 60.
Bang.
And it's gonna be a high curving ass. I might as well throw underhand at that point, like, bro, fuck this.
Facts, okay? And I'm not saying that because, oh, haha. No, I used to play baseball, and I'm telling you right now, that is one of the hardest upper body sports you could ever play in your life. I would honestly hate to see women try to play actual baseball. It's painful. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. The women don't enjoy it. The dudes don't enjoy it. No one enjoys it because it's not fun. It's not fair. So if a sport like baseball, basketball, soccer, okay, like Mia Hamm, all of them, they all said the same thing. Nope, I wouldn't do it. Hell, cycling. Even in cycling, in the Tour de France, okay, one of the coolest freaking bicycle tournaments in the entire world. They have different divisions for a reason. Okay, I would hate to see Lance Armstrong fucking try and play it or race against like one of the. Well, actually, that's a very bad example because he was actually really terrible. He was a liar. The liar too. Damn. All my heroes suck. But yeah, no. I mean, it's like. Did you know that there's a professional series of darts, which also has two-sided. There's a female division and a male division. Same thing with pool.
I feel like there doesn't need to be a division between pool and darts, but that's just my personal opinion. You know what I think needs to happen? I think that there needs to be an actual open conversation about what we're gonna do as a society when it comes to transgender people and putting them in sports. Like, where should it actually be? And the heads of these organizations need to get together, but also the players need to be able to be there to put their input in. You know what I'm saying? And specifically the players who are being affected, right? If the conversation is trans women going into women's sports, then we need the women who are already there to give their feedback on it. We can't just be like, well, they're women now, so put them in there, without talking to the women who are already there, without talking to the people who are already there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think needs to happen. And that's just my 2 cents on the matter. You want to drop some closing statements, my man?
Oh yeah. So one, I just want to say shout out to the show. You did a really good job tonight. This is really cool. And again, I want to say I really appreciate the space, having a space where we can have these open discussions and talk about these things openly and freely, because these are discussions that need to be had, and hopefully one day they will be had on a bigger level. Okay. As far as closing statements go, even though it's not the same, it has almost the same kind of relevance here. There's a reason why we have the regular Olympics and the Special Olympics. Okay. A very old friend of mine competed in the Special Olympics, and they have medals. Like they got trophies and bronze and gold. Also swimmers. Okay, I would not even be able to imagine my friend against an able-bodied individual as a swimmer, male or female. Okay, I would hate to see that, and they would be crushed because it would not be fair. They are not playing against people, and they're not playing in a class that is suitable for their skill level. Okay, if we get mad at people who play Call of Duty with cheat codes or aim bots or shit like that, like we got to look at it the same way. It's like, bro, you're basically cheating without putting in up down left right BA start. Hey, contra code.
99 lives, boy. That was the only way I could beat that game, bro. I'm keeping real.
That shit was hard. Damn, that game was hard, bro. That shit was lit. Also, when is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out, bro? I want to play that hella bad. I've been sitting here looking at this story like, when is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out? I want to play this game.
I know, right? But man, y'all take care, okay? Y'all stay blessed. Some man, Noir King. Shout out to Adrian A. Scott. And we out.